What is up, world? This is Imp from Black Talent Gaming, and I want to welcome you to yet another episode of Best Settlement Defense. Today, we're going to be looking at making a paddock. And with a paddock like a holding cell for an animal. Specifically, we're going to be making the first one for a DeathClaw. I'm here at a modded location called Duncan's Den, and I'll explain that. Actually, I'll get to that in another video. But the whole idea here is that I'm building a paddock, a defensive paddock, not only to hold in the DeathClaw that I'm going to be capturing with the Contraptions Workshop trap stuff, but the paddock itself will have some limited defenses just in case the settlement is attacked. Let me go ahead and, it's a pretty shitty day here in the Commonwealth, but let me go ahead and take you around and show you a little bit about what this settlement looks like, so that way it won't be too much of a surprise, and I can kind of give you an idea of the full extent of what I want to build here. Alright, so if we go right up here, we have Duncan, and that's not her name, that's her last name, but I'll tell you more about her in another segment or whatever. But she has her house up here, and she has tons of dogs that live with her. It's a really awesome little location. But what's crazy and what's awesome is that this is actually, that's like the smallest corner of the buildable location that you get when you install this mod. And there's just so much more to it. We go around here, we've got a whole lake that we can play with, and that's still just a small corner of this settlement area. But if we go down here, there's this kind of flat land, a little plateau overlooking a tiny valley, and you can see right up there, that's where that gunner, I think it's like a gunner artillery post is right up there. And if you ever go in there, you can like shoot the little bottles of oxygen or whatever, and they'll take off and explode. It's pretty fucking fun. But you can see like they overlook this little valley, and we overlook this little valley. And at first I was just going to put a paddock here because I want to capture DeathClaws so that I can use the Beastmaster mod on them, and I'm definitely going to be doing that. So the first thing I'm going to be building here is going to be the DeathClaw paddock. However, upon looking at just how much room we have to work with here, I've kind of had this idea in my mind that I'm going to build an entire zoo, and I've decided that I'm going to build it at this location. I think this is a excellent spot. I can put a little village type area, maybe over towards between her house and the lake, and then build my own little miniature amusement park right out here. There's a lot of space to work with. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to clear the area and prep it so that I can build the paddock. This place is already linked by a caravan to let's see, let me exit here. And so you can see I've already linked it to Grey Garden, which is linked to Oberlin. So there is a lot of resources going on here. I don't tend to connect all my areas together. Like I have sectors that are connected together, and the reason being for that is I think that it's kind of overkill, because like once you've connected about 6 or 7 settlements together, you really aren't going to gain much of a benefit by connecting them to the full grid than you would, like, unless you're just like going through mad amounts of adhesive, which happens. I mean, but the thing is like, in order to connect this chain to here, I would need at least one more robot, and the robots I build are they're pretty damn impressive, so they're pretty expensive. So it's just not in me to want to do that right now. But yeah, so this one's already connected to Grey Gardens, and I know Grey Gardens already has a good bit of supply. Oberlin, not so much. Probably work on that in a little bit. But for today, all we're here is we're going to work on Duncan's Den. And it should be freaking awesome, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I've already done the heavy lifting. I've already cleared out most of this area of the assorted debris. And now we're ready to begin construction. What I'm going to do for this construction is I'm going to use the cement one of the cement structures. I'm going to use the concrete structure the one that goes through the ground. I forgot what it's called. But I'm going to use that and make a little pin type of area, and I'll build on top of it. So first I'm just going to go ahead and build the foundation, and after I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and give you all a little bit of comments where we're going to go from there. Alright, so we've got the foundation laid here. Still not entirely sure exactly what I'm going to do, because I have to decide if I want to put the windows, the viewing windows on the outside or the inside of the space. I'm thinking on the outside because I'm more familiar working with that. I might try it on the inside first just to see, because it would be cool to have a little walkway or what have you. It's going to be funny because it's, you know, inevitably I'm going to put like a fucking rock and a tree or something in there, like a little terrarium or some shit. But yeah, let's go ahead and put the sides on. Yeah, it definitely looks like I'm going to want to put them on the side, or on the outside, because I just don't want to have to mess with making all of them flush and everything like that. So I'm just going to put them on the outside, and maybe what I'll do is I'll construct a little walkway along one side of it for role-playing purposes, because this is a zoo that no one's actually going to visit, so it doesn't really matter. You're going to visit it, though. Y'all gonna have bunches of fun. It's gonna be better than Nuka World. That's right. Well, I'm about to run out of concrete, but that's alright. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump to get some more. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'm going to resume filming once I've gone ahead and made some significant progress on this paddock. You can kind of see where I'm going here with, like, yeah, technically I guess people would be able to walk around the outside or whatever, so I'm going to put a little something, I haven't figured out what, but probably just a little walkway going along, you know, the outside or whatever, and then an actual entrance over here. Should be good. Alright, so I've done the initial construction on the paddock, and I guess I'll go ahead and give you a small tour before I install the accoutrement, as well as the, you know, the power generators and all that stuff, everything that's required to make it work. But just to show you the layout of what the paddock will do, and there's a radiation storm. It's pretty cool. It's awesome. Just go ahead and pop one of these here. Yeah, that's right. Got 5 pounds worth of radix. Definitely have to store some sometime soon. It's amazing my survival character right now is so much carrying capacity. It's pretty crazy. Alright, so let me go ahead and give you a tour. Building this actually took a whole lot longer than I thought it was going to. But it is, I think it's a really good build. It's a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this is actually the like the crew area where the crew can come in and monitor the DeathClaw. And over here is the loading dock, as well as the area for the visitors or what have you. So they can come over here and fuck around and take a look through the glass and see the DeathClaw in its not so native habitat. And this right here is the loading dock, unloading dock. It will be powered and a switch connected that's controlled at the other end. And one of the ideas is, you know, that in the event of defending this area from an attack, if absolutely necessary, I can open this and release the DeathClaw upon the enemy, as well as it'll make it easier for me to get my companions out of here once I've used the Beastmaster mod to make them into cool guys, you know what I'm saying? Now let's go ahead and go up top. Once again, I'm sorry for that rad storm. I play on survival, and I very rarely take it off. I do have a mod that allows me to take it off, but I rarely ever do that. And the only time I ever do that is if there's some sort of bug that'll break the game, and I need to fix it, you know. Alright, so at the other end is the control deck, which is going to be all the switches and various computers and stuff for monitoring the facility are going to be here. There's not going to be any turrets on this side, but over here is going to be the Ranger Towers, and the Ranger Towers will have little guard post mats right here, as well as the other one over there. You can see I left the scaffolding up that I used to get up there. I wanted the placement of these turrets to be pretty exact, because I want the central turret, which is going to be a heavy turret, to be able to fire onto the DeathClaw that's in the pen, should it go rogue. And this turret is going to be aimed 24/7 out towards the, what is that? Oh, that's my caravan, that's my bot. But yeah, so the two turret system, one turret kind of exterior and one turret that can be turned towards the DeathClaw. Yeah, and what I'm also thinking about doing is having an emergency oh shit button. And having Tesla traps hooked up maybe to the ceiling, or at least on the very least, like the four corners or whatever. And that way, if the creature goes rogue, the Tesla traps will, you know, spring to life, what have you. But you know, I don't plan to have anything go wrong, you know. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and install the generators and the electronic systems, and I'll see you all in a minute. Alright, so I finally got finished on my paddock, and I'm ready to show it off to you. Oh my god, shut up, Doc. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the paddock, and I want to go ahead and show you some of the features. A tiny bit of changes have been made, but ultimately I think it looks really awesome. And it fills a double function, a double purpose, because it has a, you know, it's hard to get at those turrets, especially if I were to create another paddock type with those kind of towers at every corner. It's hard to get at those turrets for enemy attackers. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so the first thing you'll notice, of course, is I've got all the contraptions gizmos out front. You know, I've got the beta wave suppressor, or whatever the hell it's called. I've got a DeathClaw cage right there. It's ready to catch something. It's trying to right now. And I've got this two-story building here, which is actually 2 stories of generators. I use a generator mod, and I think I may have mentioned this in previous games, but I use a generator mod that adds a fuel mechanic to the game, and unfortunately I'm not able to undo it without really messing up my game, so I do keep I did install industrial generators as well, and so on the bottom level there are going to be 2 generators. Then they've been, I've taken actual cans of fuel and filled them up, so that if I ever need extra power or whatever, I can flip those on, and those generators will keep all the systems going. But yeah, so I can switch this on or off, and of course right now it's catching one, but once it's caught one, I could easily just switch this off in order to release the DeathClaw into its habitat. I've added a tree and a few rocks and a couple of ferns or whatever into its habitat. This is the switch for the loading dock back there. So let's go ahead and power that up, and you can see. And yeah, so the loading dock works really, really well. If we go back over here, once again, this scaffolding will be taken away. You can see I've got a ramp. I used the warehouse roofs in order to make that ramp. You need, they're snap to, or they have snapping mechanics, so the first one needs to be kind of like to the side, like right there, and then the other one will snap in and then meld with the ground, which is like a great aesthetic, and it actually works. I can show you, you know, you can, I've been able to take the, for example, the automathrone stuff and been able to drive them up these ramps, so it works really well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my paddock slash defensive outpost. Once again, it's not like super optimized for defense, but it'll do its job, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and close that. Yeah, it's pretty badass. Alright guys, well, I want to thank you for joining me this week on Best Settlement Defense. I know this one was a little bit unusual, but I wanted to do a build here that I've been planning for a long while. I'm still going to add a few more paddocks around. I'm going to turn this whole place into a legitimate zoo. Should be a lot of fun, and when I get the zoo finished, I will take y'all for one big tour of the zoo. Anyhow, thanks for watching. If you like this video, if you like what I'm doing, please click like, and if you really like it, go ahead and subscribe. Look forward to seeing y'all in the future. Please leave comments, suggestions, hints, whatever you got, leave it for me. I'll take a look. Y'all have a great, awesome day.